Chapter 13, The Quiet Neighborhood. The evening sun cast a golden hue over the quiet Atlanta neighborhood as Tamika Pullman pulled into her driveway. The fatigue of the day weighed on her, but it was the good kind, the kind that came from knowing she had accomplished something meaningful. Her first day as a teacher's aide at James Earl Elementary had been exhausting, yet she couldn't shake the feeling of optimism that clung to her. She had made it through, and more than that, she felt like she'd actually made a difference in the lives of the young students she'd spent the day with. Inside her small, cozy home, the familiar stillness greeted her as she kicked off her shoes and headed into the kitchen. The remnants of the day were still buzzing in her mind, the laughter of the children, the occasional chaos of the classroom, and the kind words of Mrs. Brown. There had been challenges, but nothing she couldn't handle. And despite the icy reception from some of the other teachers, especially Trina Valentine, Tamika felt like she was starting to find her place. She sighed contentedly as she set her bag down on the kitchen counter and grabbed her phone. Her aunt, Dr. Monica Pullman, had been eager to hear how her first day went, and Tamika knew this was a conversation they both had been looking forward to. With the sun slowly setting outside, casting long shadows across the room, she dialed her aunt's number, ready to share the highs and lows of her day. The screen lit up, and after a few rings, Dr. Monica Pullman's familiar face appeared. Even over video, her presence was commanding, sharp eyes, a serious expression that softened only for those she loved, and an air of quiet confidence that spoke of years spent at the top of her field. "Hey, Auntie." Tamika greeted her with a wide smile, despite the tiredness that tugged at her. Well, Monica replied, her face brightening at the sight of her niece. "Look at you, all grown up and surviving your first day as a teacher's aide. How did it go?" Tamika settled into a chair at the kitchen counter, leaning back and letting the day's events roll off her shoulders. "Honestly? It went pretty smoothly. The kids liked me. Some of the teachers liked me," she said, laughing softly. "Seems good so far." Monica's eyes twinkled with pride. "That's what I like to hear. You're a Pullman, of course you were going to do great." Tamika chuckled, but there was a hint of relief in her laughter. She had been nervous, unsure if she would live up to the expectations she had set for herself. Hearing her aunt's confidence in her felt like a reassuring hand on her back. "Did my old friend talk your ear off about us?" Monica asked, her tone teasing but affectionate. Tamika grinned, thinking back to her conversation with Principal Daniels that morning. "Oh, yeah, Principal Daniels had plenty to say about you too. She spoke highly of your friendship, Anne. Well, she didn't exactly downplay your reputation for mischief back in the day." Monica laughed, a sound that was rare but genuine. "Valerie and I had our share of adventures, that's for sure. We weren't always the straight-laced professionals you see now. But she's a good woman, and it sounds like she's looking out for you." "She is," Tamika agreed. "I just wish you had more time to catch up with her, you know? It seems like you two were really close." Monica's smile softened, and for a moment, there was a flicker of something deeper in her eyes, regret, perhaps, or the weight of the distance that time and careers had created. "We were close. Still are, in a way, but life pulls you in different directions. I'll give her a call soon. Maybe when this project I'm working on isn't swallowing up all my time." Tamika nodded, knowing how much her aunt's work consumed her. The groundbreaking research, the endless meetings with government officials and committees, it was a lot to juggle. But she also knew that Monica missed those simpler days, the ones filled with friendship and laughter, before the weight of responsibility had settled on her shoulders. "I'll hold you to that, Auntie," Tamika said, her tone light but sincere. "You could use a break." Monica smiled, though there was a tiredness behind it. "As soon as the project is approved by the Senate and things calm down, I promise I'll make some time." As they continued their conversation, Tamika moved around the kitchen, pulling out ingredients to make herself a quick sandwich. The glow of the setting sun streamed in through the window, casting a warm light over the room. She felt at peace, more content than she had in a while. The first day had been a success, and she was finally stepping into the future she had always dreamed of, one where she could make a difference, just like her mother had. Monica's voice carried through the phone as Tamika prepared her meal, the two of them slipping into the kind of easy conversation that only family can share. They talked about the students, the funny moments from the day, and the challenges that lay ahead. But for Tamika, there was a happiness in her chest that couldn't be shaken, a joy that came from knowing she was on the right path. As she sat down at the kitchen counter, sandwich in hand, she paused for a moment to take it all in. The setting sun bathed the room in a soft, golden light, and the gentle hum of her aunt's voice made the space feel less empty. "I'm proud of you, Tamika," Monica said, her voice sincere. "Your parents would be too." Tamika's heart swelled at the words, and though she didn't let it show on her face, she felt the familiar ache of their absence. "Thanks, Auntie. That means a lot." The conversation began to wind down, and as Monica prepared to sign off, she added, "Keep me updated, okay? I want to hear about all the good things you're doing at that school." "I will," Tamika promised, smiling as they said their goodbyes. As the video call ended, Tamika sat in the quiet of her kitchen, the only sound the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. She took a bite of her sandwich, savoring the calm after a long, fulfilling day. The sun had almost completely set now, leaving the room bathed in twilight. She leaned back in her chair, thinking about the day ahead. There were challenges waiting for her, of that she was sure. Not every teacher had been welcoming, and there were definitely going to be bumps in the road. But she had made it through the first day, and that was something to be proud of. Her aunt's words echoed in her mind, "I'm proud of you." Tamika smiled to herself, feeling a deep sense of peace. She had made a difference today, no matter how small. And tomorrow, she would do it all over again. Chapter ended.